All right, so we're taking a look at this drawing, and there are a couple vocabulary things we need to know in order to do this problem. So Ryder, any ideas what this little symbol here means? Here and here. What does that little symbol mean? Any ideas? You can say no. It's okay. That's fine. Tyler, what do those two symbols mean? It means that the lines are parallel. So we can say that line, and so this little drawing means line. So line RS is parallel to line UV. So the drawing is telling us that those two lines are parallel. That's what the little arrows mean on the lines. Now, there are some rules that have to do with parallel lines and something that is called a transversal. A transversal is a line that intersects a pair of parallel lines. So in this problem, we don't have one transversal, we have two. And so line RV is a transversal. As luck would have it, us is 2. It is a transversal, line US. So those two lines are transversals. Sam, do you mind hitting the door button? All right, so as I said, that we have some special rules that relate angles when we have parallel lines and a transversal that goes through those two lines. So can you hit the door button a little bit stronger so we get both doors? All right, so let's take a look at angle TRS. Well, which angle is TRS? It's a rhetorical question, but yes, sir? Right. Yeah. So TRS. Which angle am I looking at? TRS. I'm looking at this angle right here. So when we label angles, the central angle, the angle at the vertex where the two lines come together, has to be in the middle. So I could have also called this angle SRT. It would be the same angle. The R has to be in the middle. So angle SRT, or TRS, has a special relationship with angle TVU. Yes? They are both acute. They are definitely really, really cute. But not only that, these two angles are congruent. Congruent.
That makes sense.
What does congruent mean in the case of two angles? Hadley? The same. Now, there's a special rule that says that these are congruent. And by the way, the symbol for congruent is an equal symbol with a little wavy line over it. This is the symbol for congruent. So, we know that angle TRS is congruent to angle TVU. And they are congruent because there's a special relationship called alternate interior angles. So what does alternate interior angles mean? Well, Ryder, what does alternate mean? Like the opposite. I like that. Okay. So we have a transversal right here. And these angles are on the opposite side of the transversal. So we have opposites, and in math, in this case, we're calling it alternate because they're on the alternate sides of the transversal. Why do you think we're calling them interior? What are they inside of? Yes?
Maybe they're inside of the triangles?
They are inside of the triangles, but there's another thing that they're inside of because remember, we're talking about parallel lines and the transversal. So what are they inside of, Lily? They're inside the two parallel lines. So alternate interior angles are angles that are on the opposite side of the transversal and inside, inside the parallel lines. Alternate interior angles are congruent. Is there another pair of alternate interior angles here? Sorry. Which other two angles are alternate interior? Mason? Okay, and you can get away with angle S and angle U. Now, angle S and angle U are congruent because they are alternate interior angles. So I'm adding these little hash marks on the angles to show that they are congruent. This is another very standard way of showing congruencies. I'm not sure what those two are.
Angle UTV.
Hold on a second. Angle UTV and?
Angle STR.
So I'm going to write that. So you said angle UTV is congruent to angle, and I think you said, STR. That is a true statement. And these angles have another different special type of relationship. These angles are referred to as vertical angles. So if I look at this problem, it says, explain why triangle RTS is similar to triangle VTU. Well, what do similar figures have in common? Think all the way back to 7th grade. What makes two figures similar? Ooh, I was just thinking a tech deck is similar to a skateboard. So is there any way I could find a tech deck and just have it permanently? No? Okay. Well, Tyler, you keep your eye out for a tech deck for me to keep. Oh, thank you! I have a tech deck of my very own. I wish you could see that at home. That is so awesome. I know, it's like amazing. I know, I didn't know where it came from. All right, so, okay, so what has to be true about similar figures? What do they have in common? Davis? The angles have to be the same. So in this problem, what we are being expected to say is that angle UTV is congruent to angle STR because they are vertical angles. We're also expected to say that angle V is congruent to angle R because of alternate interior angles. And angle S is congruent to angle U because they are
Alternate interior angles.
So that is what we are being expected to say in this problem. Now, that addresses this problem, but I would like to also add some more vocabulary. So transversals also create some other angle relationships. For example, this angle right here and this angle right here are also congruent. Are they on the alternate side of the transversal? Ryder, you're the opposite man. So are the orange angles on the opposite side or the alternate side of this transversal right here? You don't sound sure about that. You want to try again?
Yeah.
Yes, okay. So the orange angles are definitely on the alternate sides. Are they on the interior of the parallel lines? Are the orange angles inside the parallel lines? No, they are not. So if we're using interior to mean inside the parallel lines, what are we going to use for outside? What? Exterior. So the orange angles are alternate exterior angles. And guess what? Alternate exterior angles are congruent. One more because we love this stuff. I know you love it. This angle here, I'm going to have to reuse angles. This angle here and this angle right here, if I extend these are also congruent, and these are called corresponding angles. Corresponding. So, we will have a full lesson on these, so don't worry too much about it, but this is an introduction into parallel lines and their transversals. Are there any questions as to what the homework is tonight? All right, so have a wonderful day. All right, so I'm back, empty classroom. Let's finish part B. So looking at part B, I'll scroll down here. It says, given the angle measurement STV is equal to 180 degrees, determine the sum of measure of angle SRT and the measure of angle TUV. Show your work or explain your answer in this blank provided. All right, so I'm going to go back up here, and I'm going to pretend that this blank right here, well, I'm going to do this mostly verbally, but I'll explain step by step what you need to have. So it tells us that angle, I'm going to use a different color. What color have I not used? I have not used, yellow is a little bright. I haven't used, I'm going to use my favorite color. Maybe not. There we go. Oh. Use this one. All right. So it tells us the angle angle STV is 108 degrees. Well, I know that, and this is what you would write, that the measure of angle, or a straight line, so the angle measure of line US is a total of 360 degrees. And therefore, I know that angle is equal to the measure of angle STV plus the measure of angle VTU. Well, I know that this angle here is 108 degrees. Well, using basic algebra, I know that the measure of this angle is going to be 72. So this is 72. Well, that's helpful because I know that the sum of the interior angles of a triangle are equal to 180 degrees. So I know that 180 degrees has to equal 72 plus the measure of angle TUV and plus the measure of angle TVU. Well, wait a second. We want to find the sum of these two angles together. And we already know that 72 plus 108 is going to be equal to 180. So therefore, the measure of these two angles has to be 108. Now, there's also a rule in geometry that says the exterior angle of a triangle, so this is the exterior angle of a triangle right here, has to be equal to the sum of the other two angles in the triangle. So you could also use that rule that the exterior angle has to be equal to the sum of the other two angles. And that's how you do it. All right.